So the houses in this neighborhood, they were probably built in the 60s, upper middle class families. You're looking at a plot size of 300 to 500 square meters. A lot of families that live here, they were professionals. Like this property, for example, there was a doctor living here and he had this clinic in front. This location, it's right in between Rockwell and The Circuit. So there's this little strip that's in between these two areas, bounded by the Pasig River. It's really kind of not as posh or as uptight as Rockwell. It's not as, chaotic as Manila, but you have that beautiful medium in between. Hi, I'm Stephanie Tan-Branquinho. I'm an architect with Spacefabrik, and we designed this house for Keith and Karen. Keith and Karen are not your typical expat couple. They both had visions for a house that didn't really comply with what a house would normally be. There were a lot of considerations when we were just starting the plan because the spaces had to be really flexible and it really needed to evolve and be future-proof. So it may seem like a simple open plan home, but actually there's a lot of nuances in how things were designed in terms of space, because actually the property is quite small. It's only around 300 square meters, but we needed to maximize the area and also work with a budget. I would say that that first challenge of creating parameters in terms of the design brief, that really had to hold us down and lock it in, and then we moved inside those parameters. Design-wise, we really wanted to have an open layout, but I also knew that they were artists and they collected a lot of things. So the nice thing about working with Keith and Karen is that they really have personality, which is great for an architect because the star is really how this home will speak about who they are. And as an architect, I just really put things together. I'm never gonna live here. This is their home. But it's really good to get clients with personality. They have art, they've traveled, they've seen the world. They know how to entertain. That kind of personality coming through really helps us as architects be able to design well, but also challenging because you're working with an artist with set ideas in mind that you have to take abstractly, but also translate into spatial parameters. When you go to the third floor, that's the more private living space. And it's really beautiful because as we were building it and as we went up, we saw, wow, it really has an incredible view. And you would never think that a house like this would exist in such a, a space in the city where people don't really know. And that roof deck really opens up the house to know where it sits in the urbanity of the area. And also your relationship with the city. And you're actually right smack in the middle. Challenge-wise, you have a really small site, but if you work with proportions, scale, harmony, the basics of design, and then simplify it and trim it down to see like what volumes work. Because the house was built with 3 dimensions in mind, it's not like we did it thinking 2-dimensionally. We always had this kind of 3-dimensionality when we were looking to build this house. Good design for me means making the right decisions in terms of where you see your life right now, how you see the future, and also understanding who you are in the past. So every portion of your life, you change, right? But the change that we do and the decisions that we do, there needs to be some kind of intent of creativity. Good design helps us to find our best selves. Designing is also about restraint. It's not just doing everything. It's challenging you to take a look at all your decisions and then pick one. It needs to be intentional and it needs to be intelligent. And good design is something that if you do it well and if you learn how to do it, it can really help you find the best version of yourself. Because you're also in the constant state of creating yourself, your identity, where you are in certain parts of your life. And that is actually design and how do you design your life. So I think learning that in architecture or in the field that we're in, we also get to see how other people design their lives or how we can affect others with the decisions we do. Different homes have different identities. Sometimes we have intentional identities for homes. So as architects, we have an idea, and then we want it to be a certain way. But sometimes, when the architect leaves, life happens, right? We're not here to live in this space. We're just here to guide. But a space will have its own identity. It will have its own fabric. It will have its own memories. And this space in particular talks about Keith and Karen, talks about their history, their travels, their personalities. When people come here, they will feel welcome, they will feel inspired, they'll feel comfortable, and they will enjoy this part of the city. They will love Metro Manila.
For more insightful videos on design, subscribe to Design Will Save the World.